So we are getting ready to leave. Where are we, babe?
Cricket Islands.
Well, we're somewhere in the middle of the Cricket Islands, and we're planning on going to the south point of the Crickets, and then from there we're going to go to a place called Hogsty Reef. So fingers crossed it stays nice and calm, because you can't go there unless it's calm
an
conditions.
In the middle of nowhere.
It's a what?
An atoll.
Atoll.
It's an atoll. Try and sustain 3.5 knots minimum so that we get it to our anchorage, which is only 28 miles away before nightfall, and it's still morning. It's not even 10 o'clock yet, so it's going to be a long day. But we are doing 3.3 again.
Oh no.
3.8. Oh, we're about right. We're about at right average.
We have the jib out as well.
We've got to go through the jungle. Okay, so we have to walk the pole. Walk, grab. It's definitely going to get easier for each person that goes through because you're going to break some dead branches. Yeah. This is the old flagpole. Aha! This is the flagpole.
Ow!
Come on, girl, you're on candid camera.
Am I?
She made it!
Do you think this one's older or newer than the other one we saw?
I don't know. Let's go and check it out. It's probably got a date on it. So I'm going in. I just broke the door off. Now I'm going in.
Oh shit. Is there an open? This is the door.
This is even more trash than the last one. This one had wooden stairs that have been rotted out.
Oi! Yeah, there's no climbing that one. So we're at an atoll, I believe it's called. I need to do a little bit more research on that. But it's like a reef in the middle of nowhere. We traveled 40 miles today from the bottom of the Acklins Islands. So you have the Crookeds and then the Acklins. So the Acklins Island, 40 miles south, and you end up here. And there's literally no land in sight besides this tiny little sand island here. And there's some sort of weird thing on it, so I'm going to go explore that in a minute. But it's really crazy beautiful. Like, it's so peaceful. And apparently you're not able to come here very often because there's really no protection. That kind of is obvious. There's no land to protect you from any winds. So you have to make sure that there's no wind, no waves, the sea state is all good. And it is. Besides the minor swell we have here, which is fine. Like, it's so beautiful, I can deal with a little swell. Literally, we're the only two boats. And the water, I think we anchored in 25 feet. And you can see the bottom. And there's a big barracuda right there. Charles Darwin first developed a hypothesis about how atolls form, describing an atoll as a more or less continuous reef surrounding a distinct lagoon. Lagoons may contain small patch reefs, as does Hogsty Lagoon. In the Pacific, where they are far more common, atolls form when volcanic islands in the underlying subfloor subside. As the island sinks, the fringing reefs around the island continue to grow upward, becoming a barrier reef surrounding the lagoon. Atolls in the Caribbean are typically not volcanic in origin. Scientists refer to them as pseudo-atolls. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. However, they do have true atoll characteristics: an outer reef, a perimeter reef, and a central lagoon. The outer reef starts in deep water with shallower portions subject to ocean swells that break around the circumference of the entire atoll. The bottom depths around Hogsty Reef reach an incredible 1,800 meters. Reef-building corals start to grow in roughly 50 meters of water, rising up to within a meter of the surface. On Hogsty Reef, there are two sandy islands in the perimeter rim, Northwest Key and Southwest Key. Northwest Key is the larger of the two sand islands, and it stands slightly higher at about 4 meters above sea level. The top of the key is covered in low, hardy vegetation and the ruins of an old lighthouse. The Hogsty Reef Lagoon is shallow, generally 6 to 8 meters, and measures approximately 5 miles across at its widest point. We have been so lucky to have the chance to come to Hogsty Reef. Not everyone gets this opportunity. Apparently there is like 200 shipwrecks in this area. So we're gonna go check out a couple of them. There's one really big one over there. Davy thought it was a rock when we were coming in, but I've been told it is a Liberty something. Liberty Shipwreck. So we're gonna go check that out. But that's so cool. Like 200 shipwrecks in a 5-mile coral reef area. Like, that's crazy. We're gonna go exploring. This is one of two impressive shipwrecks on the reef. It is a Liberty ship with a name that is very hard to pronounce. It wrecked on the northern part of the reef, 17th of July, 1963. So we came across this little tiny deserted island.
It's a real deserted island, this one. You can't get any more deserted island than this.
Did you find treasure in the hole, babe?
I didn't.
What's in the hole?
It's full of sand. It looks like a well. And behind the camera there's actually some what looks like foundations for an old house, cabin. I don't really know what it was supposed to be. But here it looks like maybe it was a water collection system.
So if you got stranded on this little island, as
you might be able to find water because there's no water here. The only thing would be rainwater, and apparently there's over 200 shipwrecks in this area. We found a really nice one yesterday.